Now, this question is from one of our readers. Do you believe the city has responded adequately to the foreclosure crisis and the vacant home problem? Why or why not? And what more can the city do? And we'll start with Carol.
Well, I think the city has done an admirable job with the resources that they have in order to respond. I think that there could be some more collaboration with the county land bank, and I think that we need to include those people that are closest to those neighborhoods in helping us develop the solutions for what else we could do. I think that the foreclosure crisis has impacted not just our city, and I think that's what we need to keep in mind too, that it is a bigger issue than the issue of Cleveland Heights.
Okay. Khalil?
Well, I think that the city has been reactive, and I think now is the time for us to enter into a more proactive role in responding to the foreclosure crisis and all of the effects of it. There are things that we could be doing quite a bit better. We need to make more robust use of Case Western Reserve's NeoCanDo NST web app to track information about properties and to actually start inputting information about properties. I think we need to be proactive in setting up, through community organizing and working with our neighborhoods and setting up a community development structure in the city that we can work with and rely on to help with our code enforcement procedures. I think we need to modernize our department, our housing department. So I think that there are things that we could be doing a bit better. I know that there are a wide variety of ideas, whether it's foreclosure bond legislation or legislation to restrict a rental from receiving a rental occupancy permit if they're behind on taxes or perhaps have a certain class of violations. There are things that we could be doing better, and I'm hoping that I can help out with that. I work in my day job. I am a participant in the Vacant and Abandoned Properties Action Council, and in that role, I receive a wide variety of new ideas that I'd love to bring to Cleveland Heights.
Okay, thank you. Kaba?
Oh yeah, thank you. I believe the city was slow in its response to that. They could do better, but the situation is devastated in Northeast Ohio, in all the country, so we use that term saying it's everywhere, but individually we could do better. Khalil said we can be proactive. Also, I think as a public administrator, I teach all these issues, personal budget, housing issues. I think we need to have a robust operation in the city hall by the city manager and the housing department to hire people very talented to go to know the code, but also to make sure the city, the lawyer of the city need to have that law, because some people are not, they have houses here, they're not living in Cleveland, and they have issues to taking care of that. So I think we have to be very proactive on that and make sure those people pay on time, redo their houses, and also the nuisance, the people with the Section 8 coming and going off, we need to regulate all those issues. We can do better than that.
Okay, thanks. Mary?
Yes. I would like to say that I have talked to realtors who tell me that Cleveland Heights is hot. So yes, we have lost population, but they wanted more product to sell. We have a certain sweet spot, which is mostly between 100,000 and 200,000, I believe. The larger homes take longer to sell, but they do sell. What's happened is some of the low-income areas is very sad, and we definitely need to deal with that. And I agree with you that we're still pretty much reactive in how we've been operating from the foreclosure crisis, and we need to move on. There's a huge demand for new housing in Cleveland Heights. It sells at a very nice price, what there is of it. I also would like to see a better collaboration with our municipal court, which has to deal with a lot of the housing issues, and that's something that we will be dealing with in a few years. There's a trend, there's various trends going on. There's one trend which is people moving in from Geauga County into be closer to the Yeah, to the art museum and the symphony and all that, and we're getting people that are coming from Geauga County and fixing up houses and living there. There's a huge amount of investment going on in the wealthier parts of town, frankly. I'm just amazed. And we just need to get it spreading all out, and we're taking advantage of University Circle growth and build from what we build on our positives.
Okay, thanks. Julie?
Well, I think I live in a different part of the city, unfortunately. There are 4 houses that have been, 2 have been torn down and 2 more are going to be torn down on my street just in the past few years. And you know, Cleveland Heights is America's first suburb. It's the first time that people took their homes, moved them away from the industry, and it's a planned city. They don't make cities like this anymore. It's completely built out, and it's not a mistake that pretty much most homes, you can walk to a business district and a park that's done on purpose. Mm-hmm. And so it makes Cleveland Heights extremely valuable. I love living there. I don't want to leave. And it also makes home purchasing there really attractive if we have homes for purchasing. But again, we're getting behind on it. These homes are foreclosing and they're being torn down. If we could get developers to build beautiful new homes on those vacant lots, you know, all different types for all the different parts of the city, I think it would be a great way to bring people in, increase our tax base, increase our property values, and it could be a really great thing for Cleveland Heights. So, you know, I think I might live in one of those areas that's, you know, not doing as well.
Okay, thanks. T, you can go ahead.
Sure. So I think that right now, the city is poised to be successful around this issue. The best thing that the city can do, however, is to get out of its own way. By that I mean, I think that there are a lot of barriers that exist with building codes and ordinances and zoning that make it difficult for contractors, for developers who want to come in and actually do work on houses and, you know, make them not just flippable but nice and livable for long term. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. You know, there's also opportunity for us to look at, as other people have said, you know, currently there is no city driven rental agreement, lease agreement out there. I think if the city were to standardize something like that, that would help with those issues that do arise. Additionally, you know, with a lot of these foreclosures that are out there, you know, from a zoning perspective, see if, you know, there are a lot of big houses in Cleveland Heights, and they don't necessarily have to be. You know, we can maybe find a way to turn them into duplexes, make them more appealing to senior citizens who want to move out of their 6-bedroom house into something smaller, something that would be better suited for just, you know, the couple lifestyle as opposed to the large family lifestyle. So I think that while you know, your question was did the city respond adequately? And I think that, you know, the city was reactive, but now we have an opportunity to do great things.
Okay, thank you. We're going to give a minute for follow-up on that question. Cable, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I think she answered a little bit, but my concern is if all these tax fails, that levy fails, what the city council is planning to do. You're going to plan next year to put back or to do something and to hire economic development. That's my issue. Yeah. For 2 years, we don't have nothing. The city is just left out, no economic development director. And even we have the economic development director, the role was not clearly defined. So, you two, what do you think of that? You are in the council.
Well, I'll give Mary a chance to respond
Okay.
to that.
Well, the city has produced, well, there is available a description of what is going to happen. You know, it's not, and this is widely available, by the way, but there's no good choice here. I mean, nobody wants to pay more taxes, but also the consequences of having to cut back on the police force, the housing, and so on, is very difficult. Housing is really key to our community, and foreclosures are down dramatically. They're less than half what they used to be. I don't know the exact number. There's a trend, on the other hand, for rentals instead of buying homes, and it's much better to have homeowners, as far as I'm concerned, because they are more apt to invest in the community and take care of their home and so on. So there's a lot going on, and we just, you know, there's always opportunities and challenges, and we got to deal with the challenges and take advantage of the opportunities, and new housing is one opportunity for sure.
Carol?
I was going to follow up on Mary's comment about the Cleveland Heights being hot and real estate agents wanting to work with us in terms of bringing in potential new buyers. In my own neighborhood, the Noble Neighbors, in April, we had essentially a real estate fair. And we worked collaboratively with a number of realtors and brought in people on a particular Sunday, and every house that was for sale in the neighborhood was viewed that day, essentially, by combining our efforts and working together as a community with individual groupings such as real estate agents. And when I think about the solutions for the future, I think it has to involve the organizing effort of the community in looking at what kinds of things the community can do to bring in viable businesses, what's going to be supported, and I think our real estate fair was one example of that.
Okay, does anybody else want to follow up on that question?
Well, you know what, yeah, I'd like to use my follow-up sort of as an invitation for viewers or perhaps the county prosecutor's office to reach out. Had a quick idea that I wanted to give to the public, perhaps for some commentary. We have only so much capacity to deal with tax foreclosure, but either in the treasurer's office or in the county prosecutor's office. And a thought that I had was to create an MOU with city prosecutors or law departments.
Memorandum of understanding, is that?
That's correct,
Okay.
yes. Memorandum of understanding to almost deputize law directors or city prosecutors to, in specific cases, when it's strategically important, to allow those individuals to participate in the tax foreclosure process sort of on behalf of the Office of the Prosecutor, to increase the capacity for tax foreclosure, because that's something that we have to deal with in terms of capacity. So I just wanted to use my follow-up to throw that out there and see if I get a response on that.
Okay.
Good.
You okay on that question? Or?
Uh,
But we got to move on because we're running out of time.